Welcome to Mina's bookshelf. Today I would like to unbox with you a tarot deck that I've just recently received. It's the Relative Tarot by Carrie Paris. This is the mass market edition published by Wiser Books. It was originally an indie deck, and I remember seeing also a companion oracle deck that goes by the same name. It's a beautiful vintage looking collage deck with those beautiful muted sepia tones that will appeal for sure to all those tarot readers and collectors who love decks in the vein of the Vintage Wisdom Oracle by Victoria Mosley, the Stretch Tarot, I think. It's another one very similar to this deck. And it came wrapped in cellophane that I have already removed. The box is beautiful. It's a hard box, clamshell kind of opening. It's fabulous. This is what it says in the back. Discover your true potential by connecting with your beloved ancestors. This spirited tarot includes a deck rich in vintage photographs from a wide array of ethnic origins and various walks of life. The ancestors come together to provide not only answers but also resolution, evolution, truth, and transcendence, and so on and so forth. The accompanying full-color book guides readers on how to navigate life's lessons by calculating their tarot blueprint, very interesting, personal birth card and annual card. Inspired by the works of Mary K. Greer and the late Angeles Arrien, Carrie Paris also discusses shadow cards, karmic cards, and how the minor arcana represents the way our life lessons have materialized on the physical plane through the initiations, tests, and lessons unique to each suit. So perfect for ancestral readings, for past lives readings, and I just cannot wait. I cannot wait to play with it and pair it with other vintage looking decks and books that I have. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards and the guidebook. The guidebook has this satin finished cover, and as the back of the box said, the pictures of the cards on each page are in full color. And let's see what we have inside. We have a dedication, a table of contents, acknowledgements. I love these pictures. They remind me of my heritage. I'm from Italy, and for my entire childhood, I was surrounded by pictures of this kind, my ancestors, my beloved ancestors. There's an introduction. It's all relative. And then the major arcana, birth and annual cards, how to calculate your tarot blueprint, a note about the numbers, locating your tarot blueprint, and then it goes into the meaning of the cards and explains how to read them. Perfect. Let's see if there are any other spreads in the back. No. I will go in the minor arcanas, and then there's a quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson: "Be not the slave of your own past. Plunge into the sublime seas, dive deep and swim far, so you shall come back with new self-respect, with new power, and with an advanced experience that shall explain and overlook the old," which seems to sound like the mission statement of this beautiful deck created by Carrie Paris. Just a few informations about the creator. Carrie Paris was in the first class to receive a master's in the cultural study of cosmology and divination from the University of Kent, UK. She has indie authored numerous Magpie Oracle casting kits and Lenormand decks. Carrie also teaches a number of online courses that explore mediumship and ancestral communication through divination. That's fantastic. And I follow her on social media, on Instagram. she's very active there. Okay, so the deck is not wrapped in any more cellophane. It only has this plastic ribbon that holds the cards together. It's easy to pull it out thanks to the ribbon, and I see that there are quotes inside the box. Fare thee well till next we meet. And who am I? Who have I come here to do? How do I find my soul's truth? I'm very excited about this deck. I really cannot wait to use it and do some ancestral readings. Excuse me. The cards are gilded. It's not a matte gilding. It's a shiny metallic gilding. And the cards are glossy, both in the back and the front. They have a, I'm very sorry. They have some border that doesn't really disrupt the beauty of the deck. I really like it. So let's take a look. So we have the Magician. I'm losing my voice. The High Priestess. The Empress. I do believe that there's at least one extra card in this deck. The Emperor. Hierophant. Lovers. Okay, so there are different lovers cards for people of different orientation. Inclusivity is something that you do not frequently see in vintage decks or art decks or historical decks of this kind. And I'm really glad to see that this is one of the things featured in the deck. So as the back of the box said, we will be able to see probably people of different ethnicity represented, different walks of life. I'm choking on my own incense. Maybe it's too strong. So the Justice card at 11 and the Strength was at 8, which is the way I prefer to see my cards. It follows the RWS system, which is also my favorite, the one that I feel more comfortable with. So these are my first impressions. I haven't had the chance to work with the deck yet. And I have to say, so far, I love what I see. I love the cardstock. It's the perfect cardstock for me. It's not thick, it's not thin, it's flexible. It will also probably be very easy to shuffle. It seems to be resistant enough. I'm not a rough shuffler. I riffle shuffle my cards, but I'm very careful when the cards are edged in metallic edging. I love this card, the Universe. And then an extra full. Do we have a full in the beginning of the deck? No. Okay, so they put the full at the end. We started with the Magician, and then we go into the Minor Arcanas. Minor Arcana. Cups. I think they're very easy to read, also for a less experienced reader. As you have probably noticed, on the bottom, we have numbers, a numeric association, and an astrological association. I think that's the astrological association. the cards are not stuck together. It normally happens with cards that have that kind of gilding. Beautiful card. The aces are very similar to the original RWS. And in everything else, there's a juxtaposition of the suits and vintage photos. This is probably not one of the best walkthrough you will find, but I was really excited and anxious to show it. I will probably do another walkthrough where we will be able to look at the cards more carefully, and I will also give you a sample reading, and I'll pair it with some other decks. Now, I have seen the independent version of this deck on YouTube, and I'm not sure what kind of cardstock that was printed on. Almost probably matte finished cardstock, not the glossy kind. So my assumption is that the colors might be a little brighter, more vivid in this version because the gloss lamination enhances the coloration. And I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I'm actually glad to see a splash of green and yellow in the Pentacle suit, which is the color that I normally associate to that suit. I normally associate blue to cups, yellow to swords, green to pentacles, and brown or orange or red to the suit of wands. And you have some of that here. You do have, for example, the yellow, the pale yellow in the sword suit. Absolutely love what I'm saying. I'm really happy with it. Really happy. Love the Seven of Swords. Now, I'm a big fan also of the Dream Keepers Tarot by Liz Houston, I think. That's another one that I use for my past lives and ancestral readings. I'm a big fan of the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. I'm already thinking of combining it with the Augenblick Oracle. And this is the King. Okay, so this is the deck. I'm not going to shuffle because I would like to keep the cards in order to be able to go through them again. But I can tell you, if you have, for example, another great deck that could be used in combination with this one is the from the author of the Delphi Tarot, the Majestic Earth Tarot, which I have. Imagine if that deck, that cardstock was coated in laminated. It would be exactly the same cardstock, and I think you should not have any problems shuffling. I hope this gilding will last long enough, and So just to give you an idea what you could pair it with, you could pair it with the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. How perfect. These cards look together. Wonderful. That's a wonderful combination. I also have the Augenblick, probably an even better pairing for Oracle. This is the Augenblick. Look at that. So I'm really, really happy with my purchase. I cannot wait to get to work with it. Thank you so much for following me. Thank you for liking this video. If you have a chance, hit that button for a like, a subscribe. You can comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have this deck. And I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.